Hello, myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are discussing about the attraction. And in this attraction, we are discussing this particular generation is supposed to go next, or this generation is not supposed to go next. So here, basically, the things basically which we are discussing is about the union. Basically, one word that is union. What actually union word is? Union means web camera union. Particular person is talking to someone, and particular person is attacking his body parts. That actually union is, that basically comes to the pain union. That one person told that we want this type of pain union in Indian nationality. So they basically keeps on attacking, because this each and everything basically is going to generate in universe. That's why basically. Then basically one person told that basically what is sports union. There is one union called sports. Sports means cricket sport is there. So cricket union is there. Cricket union means if anybody person is doing bad to the cricket, then entire cricket industry become one and basically just literally kills that particular person. And here basically government also basically don't tell anything, because government are also basically getting money from them. So they also don't tell, because this everything energy. If for example one person basically got harassed since 30 years, then basically that energy has all generated and it has merged to the universe, and that reaction is 100% going to happen in the Indian nationality. That is basically in India country. That why basically that person was given harassment for 30 years in India land. So India land is 100% going to effect. That is 100%. And due to sports basically, if the harassment has happened, then entire sports is going to get effect. Entire sports is going to get effect. So this is also one of the union. Then he told that basically what is badminton union. Badminton union means, for example, one badminton player is in Hyderabad, so currently exists. So that Hyderabad player basically becomes the union. So they basically creates entire India one basically. They say that basically become India basically become one. So this is also one of the India Union. Then basically the Bollywood group basically they says that they creates a certain level of movies basically, and after creation of certain level of movie, the whole people basically watch that movie, and then basically the India Union basically again comes. That is also one of the India Union basically. India Union is entire India basically becomes one. One basically one of the Bollywood character basically has told that whenever the India Pakistan match comes, that time basically entire India become one. So this is also one of the situation created by the certain groups. Movies basically you can say. Like this also basically Indian Union basically become one. But here basically the thing is basically as per the increment of the union basically occurs, the problems occurs more. And basically in future basically it might possible that it will convert to world war, and India basically Indian Union basically will jump to the World War 3. Basically this mostly basically might happen. How basically that is going to happen, that we are going to discuss in next of the part basically. So in this basically the India Union basically is there. In India Union basically this is also there basically. Then one of the people told that basically uh, lots of temples basically are there. In this basically temples basically assume that Hindu temple. So like this the entire Hindu becomes one basically. Entire Hindu basically becomes one. And mosque is there, like this basically entire Muslim become one. So these all are basically the related to the God related, that basically also has created to create entire unity basically. But here the problem occurs is if that entire unity basically creates problem to someone, that basically creates some big problem to entire unity basically. That also basically things are there with this also things basically has happened in future basically. In sorry, not in future, in past basically this has happened basically. That one of the, I will take one example basically. This basically has occurred as this has occurred in one of the city basically. There was one cricket match ongoing, and somebody basically slapped a cricket team basically. Then basically the fight basically happened, and that person basically who was basically beaten by the entire cricket team, sorry, entire cricket team basically, where basically they are playing, they basically, that person basically died. And that person actually was very powerful person. So that person basically finished the entire cricket from that city only basically. He finished the entire cricket. So like this basically this type of thing also happened. So that basically not going to happen in India. Basically, entire Indian cricket team basically who are playing currently, they are not going to get stopped for playing. Basically, they are not going to stop basically playing. Means they are not going to stop. They are basically staying in the cricket industry, and cricket will also exist in the India. Basically, this type of thing basically mostly will never happen. Why? Because the advertising has done of cricket up to that level, that basically they will basically they are basically reached up to that level that prime minister basically have to resign, even president basically have to resign if anybody, president or prime minister basically do anything bad to that cricket basically. Up to that level basically they have reached, and if they have reached up to that level basically, then this basically thinks to negative level and the positive level, that basically political people only might be knowing that we should think negative level or positive level. So like this stuff also basically the union basically is there. So here basically we are discussing about the word union basically, discuss about the word union. So this is basically union word actually is written actually by one of the writers basically. Writer means India has to become one. Somebody told that India has to become one. So for that basically create lots of things basically. When World Cup basically kept happen, then entire India basically become one. Each and every city basically become one, and they starts basically creating problem to those group basically who basically don't love cricket, and who basically is creating problem to cricket. They basically literally kill that particular person. Like this basically things are basically there basically. We are going to discuss each and everything basically, what cricket union is, what sports union is, how is the basically writer of the cricket union, who is the writer of the cricket union, and up to what level basically he writes, each and everything basically we are going to discuss. Why? Because this everything is basically already generated in the universe. That is basically the energy basically it is already generated. That's why. And this is going to generate lots of condition basically as per the time is going to pass. Lots of things is going to happen. Just see basically due to India cricket, and due to cricket union basically, and the sports union, and due to each and every union basically, what are the things going to happen, that basically we are going to discuss. Then one person told that basically why union basically is good, because they told that basically they want to generate some energy basically. That's all. That's just for that basically the entire union basically. For if one person told that basically if you want to create entire India one basically, then what is the option? Then he told that basically World Cup is there basically. And in World Cup, basically, if India Pakistan match happens, na, that basically creates entire India one basically. That creates entire Hindustan one basically. That creates entire India basically one. And basically, literally, basically, if the people who basically says that you are supporting Pakistan basically and you are in India basically, that person basically literally will die. But few people says that lots of Pakistanis are basically staying in India. They that basically they don't see basically. Lots of Pakistan are basically staying in India. They don't see. But the person basically who basically are poor people, and the people basically who are not powerful, they gets harassed. They gets creating problem, this, that basically. But the person who are basically very powerful, they don't create anything stupid, because they know basically anything basically can happen anytime. That's why basically they checks the data basically. This person basically we can give the harassment. Yeah, basically we can give that because we have given him lots of harassment basically also. We has broken his teeth, we have broken his head, we have broken his eye. Lots of things basically we have done for the cricket. This all basically energy has generated in the universe basically, and it's going to generate one day one union basically. That basically union also what the things is going to generate, that also basically we are going to discuss what actually it's going to generate. And here basically the entire cricket union basically, that means cricket energy basically is going to generate. That cricket energy is going to also generate one day basically. So each and every things are basically there basically. Each and every things basically are there, which says that this is the union basically. This is the union. Like software industry union is there. Just now basically it was tracked. That software unions are also basically there. They says that basically we are basically union. They, if for example one person is not getting job, that means reason is basically just simple basically. It's a software union basically. Due to that union only basically he is not able to get the job. That's all basically. It's very simple basically. So here basically the software industry union basically comes into the picture because it's a union basically. Union means one. Everybody is one basically. So this is also one of the example basically of software union, that this person basically is not supposed to get job. That basically in forum basically it was written. That is software union basically forum basically. Then software union forum basically comes into the picture, and they say that basically this person is not supposed to get job. Literally he basically don't get the job. Why? Because it's a software union. Software union basically. Software union means all basically have become one. Just for he is not supposed to get the job. That's so. For that basically literally they creates problem. They basically give him that type of foods. For example, one person is going in the restaurant, then basically they say that give him that type of food, that basically he would become mad. He basically literally go there, this area, that area, and basically react like a mad person basically, because we want to prove that basically we want the one medical report that basically he's not fit in the software industry. He's not basically fit in the software industry. Like this basically things also basically happens. Like this basically many things basically the software industry group basically whose union basically is there. And in software industry, lots of people says that Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Bihari people are lots of people are there in the software industry. So it's a their union basically. They basically if decides basically this person is not supposed to come into the software industry, then literally basically he basically literally basically cry. Then also basically he can't enter into the software industry because it's a union basically of software industry basically. But here the union is of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Biharis. Like these things are also there basically there. So like this thing, there are many unions basically. So we are basically going to discuss this step by step basically what actually union is, and what are the disadvantage and advantage of the union basically, and how basically you should 100% think positivity level and negativity level. Because I had taken one example of that one city basically, where the cricketer basically basically killed one person basically, and literally basically that cricket was ended from that city. This is basically live example which has basically happened basically. Entire cricket ground was basically finished also. There basically the construction has happened. So this will not happen in India basically. That I basically can guarantee. So like this basically things are. So we are going to discuss entire union basically, what actually the union is. So in next part basically we are going to discuss little bit more about the union. And currently the topic is ongoing. His generation with attraction topic, and in attraction basically the things basically is going off. This person basically which he is standing, sitting, his generation is supposed to go next, or his generation is not supposed to go next.